All right, now time to look at what I got going on here. I'm a little bit higher because I'm standing on a bucket now. So the light and outlet are not as urgent as everything else. I can power them up at this box here. If I wanted to get 14 gauge into this box, that does what I need to do there. Now, this box over here is really, I believe, only needed for one outlet that is running over that way. That's what this is a 20 amp outlet. So that was on a 20 amp GFCI breaker. But otherwise this box can pretty much all be removed. Now, there was another breaker for the pool pump that had a red wire that was coming out through here and going back into this here. I pulled that red wire out, and it needs to be probably on a second circuit, because if I had a 11 amp and a 12 amp pump running on the same at the same time on a 20 amp, it's going to blow that. So each of them needs their own potentially 20 amp. Could be a 15 amp, but I guess I'm going to run 220 amps, and one of them needs to go to a screw right here where I removed the red wire, and the blue wire is the constant power for the timer. So that was connected to that red wire, so that if the breaker breaks, trips for the other pump, then it'll stop that other timer. This timer, I believe, runs on the main pump timer, as makes sense it should. So got that figured out, and I don't know whether there's any sense in keeping this box here. I can replace this with a junction. As a matter of fact, I could probably, I mean, the problem is, if I really want to, I mean, it's a 20 amp GFCI outlet that I've got, so everything would need to be 12.2 on that circuit, and you can see that this here and the lights surely are not 12.2. So they're going to have to be on a separate 15 amp breaker. Really, I shouldn't have any outlets on them. In the garage, it should only be lights on there. So I should really get rid of this outlet and run a different outlet that would be on a 20 amp with that. So maybe what I ought to do, and would make more sense, is to continue on removing this junk and make it so there's nothing but lights on a 15 amp circuit. I think that would probably be the smartest. And then get rid of this, continue on with that, so I won't have this outlet, but I'll put in another one and then connect it up to this conduit up here. So I could have a 20 amp on a GFCI come down, connect in here, and then go up and feed that conduit there. So that would enable me to get rid of this box too. So I guess I'll proceed on with that.